Yo, what's up, guys? It's PB&J. I'm here with Brian. What's up, Brian?
Usually you introduce like one other person if we're not traveling or anything. So what happened to the third person?
I don't know, man. I think he's getting intimidated by your skills. We heard the one was just us the other day and was like, oh man, this guy's good. I don't know if I can do this anymore.
I don't know if we had it recorded, but like I baited him to say like which one was better, the one with him only or with me, and he admitted that the one with him sucked. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
if that was when we were recording or just talking offline.
No, it was recording. We got that one. It's in there.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was the last one, the Spider-Man one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got it.
Okay. Well, he's not gonna know how we started this episode, so he'll find out about it afterwards.
Yeah. You have to listen for himself to hear the bashing.
Yeah. So yeah, you might hear some background noises today, and that's because I'm like packing some stuff. So because I'm going down to LA tomorrow night for D23 this weekend. So yeah, you might hear some background noise, but it should be fine. Try to be quiet.
All right. Yeah, D23, which I was supposed to go to, and I messed up.
Yeah. Did you share what happened, or did you?
Yeah. I told the story.
Okay.
Yeah, how I just didn't order the tickets. I don't know what I did. I don't know if I clicked buy and then just closed the browser out before it finished purchasing and then never looked at it again, or what.
This was like me like 3 years ago, but opposite. Like for Comic Con, I think you asked me like, "Hey, are you going to Comic Con this year?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't even buy any badges." And then I log in and I look at my account and there's a badge for me. So it's the complete opposite.
You're like, oh, I guess I did.
It just did that all habit, like just every year just buying a badge.
Yeah, you're coming in tomorrow night, right? To get ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna go stay near the convention center and then camp out a little bit early. Not like Hall H early, but still pretty early to catch the Disney movies panel. So I think it starts at 10:30. So probably I have to get in line by like 5:30 just to get inside. But you tell me that the hall is pretty big, right? So shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, the hall's big. It's actually bigger than Hall H at Comic Con. Hall H at Comic Con holds 6,500 people, and Hall D23 holds 7,500 people. So it's 1,000 more.
It's a smaller event too, so it's not like Comic Con where it's like 100,000 people there every day.
When I went a couple years ago, it definitely wasn't. It wasn't as much. It's in the Anaheim Convention Center, and it wasn't full at all.
Yeah.
Throughout the day. I mean, that panel was pretty full because everyone wants to see all that stuff, all the cool movie stuff. But afterwards, when we were walking around the hall and checking out even the other panels later in the day, we were able to get in pretty easily, except for the last panel of the day. But that was because we were kind of late. We were just kind of walking around like, hey, there's still some time left. What do you want to check out? And there was a panel for, I think it was a reunion for Aladdin, the cast of Aladdin.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so I don't remember. Let's say it started at 5. I don't remember the exact time, but if it started at 5, we went to try and get in line like at 4:30. And of course, that's way too late. And when we got there, the line was like the line went outside the room, down the hall, and they put it into another room and kind of snaked in there. So yeah, so once we saw it, we're like, nah, we're not getting in. Let's just go get something to eat, and that was it for the day. But the other panels during the day, like the panel for the amusement park, like the updates on the amusement park and the new rides and stuff they're gonna do, we walked right into that one. Got good seats, like no problem.
Yeah, they're going to have the same thing on Saturday. It's like an afternoon at the main, like the big hall. Yeah, I'm planning to check that one out too. So I want to see them talk about Star Wars Land.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. They're gonna have the models and stuff there for the new Star Wars Land. Maybe I don't know if they'll show any pictures of it up on the big screen. Maybe they'll just have concept art.
Right. I read that they have a model of it, like a small scale model of how it's going to look. So yeah, we'll see how it turns out.
Is that gonna be on the floor?
I don't know. It might be on the floor somewhere. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the one I went to had the Avatar world.
Yeah.
And that one was on the floor too. It had a booth. They had a booth for the Avatar, just the Avatar stuff only. And you got to go in there, and we actually met the dude, the creative director for the for Avatar World. And he was there, and he just walked down there after the big panel with the amusement parks. And what sucks is that when we got in line, the dude who worked there he was like, "Man, you guys just missed James Cameron. He was just right here taking pictures."
Okay.
Oh, I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, dude, like 5 minutes ago." I go, "Man, I was met James Cameron."
And
Yeah, I know, so close.
yeah, that park opened like a few months ago, and I heard it's really cool.
Yeah, oh yeah, I want to check that place out for sure. It's in Florida. So yeah, plan a trip out there. I know like my sister's a huge Avatar fan and she wants to go, and then one of my cousins, same thing. He loves Avatar, so we all want to plan a trip, a big family trip, and head down there, check it out.
Yeah. Like going to Disney World, it's fun. Like I don't know if you're into amusement parks or not, but like the rides are not scary or anything, but they do such a good job at the rides, like on the like designing it and everything. It just makes you feel like you're in it for the time of the entire ride. It's really cool. You know, they don't mess around when it comes to like how they design stuff, so everything looks top notch every single time.
Yeah, no, yeah, you know, I like amusement parks, just hanging around. You know, amusement parks like Universal Studios has like really stepped up their game the last few years. I know we went a few years ago to the Halloween. I don't know if you been recently, but like a year or two ago, when we went to the Halloween event, they expanded the Simpsons area, and they made it, they really expanded on it, and they added before they had the Quickie Mart, but then they added like Krusty Burger, and they added the Duff Brewery, and they added up just a bunch of stuff. So now you can go in there and get a Krusty Burger, and then you go to Duff Brewery, get a beer, and walk around. And it's really, really cool.
That's cool. Like before, it was just a set, right? Like it's just a fake, like it's just you just see it from the outside, but you can't go inside or anything, right?
Yeah. It was like, I think the only one you can go in was the Quickie Mart. I think that was the only thing you could go into. But now, now they have actual shops and stuff.
Yeah, but it wasn't even like a convenience store or anything, right?
No,
I don't remember going.
It was a gift shop.
Oh, okay.
You go in there and they had the gift shop and stuff, but they actually opened up a real restaurant with the Krusty Burger and the Duff Brewery. You can actually get real beers and stuff, so pretty cool. So I mean, that's Universal Studios. I mean, Universal Studios is cool. They've upped up their game, but they can't compare them to Disneyland and stuff. Like that's just the next level. And I haven't been to Disneyland in 20 years probably.
It's completely different now. Like they've added so many things. Like there's an area just for Star Wars. I mean, not Star Wars, but like Avengers type stuff. So it's really cool. The ride for Star Tours, to match the movies. Yeah, it's just completely different.
No, I know. Like 20 years, man. That's a long time. Yeah. But I never was into Disneyland when I was a kid. I was like, nah, this is kind of dumb. I didn't like the rides. I didn't care for the characters. And so I think I was in middle school, something like that. I was like seventh grade or something, and that was the last time I went. And I was like, I don't want to go here. And they got really expensive. So to me, I was like, this isn't worth it. I'd rather go to like Magic Mountain and ride the rides and go to Knott's, and which is way cheaper. And then it was closer to me too. I live right down the street. Right. But really, it was like way cheaper, and it was a lot of fun. And then I stopped going to Knott's for the rides, but I started going for like Knott's Scary Farm. I love that stuff, and Halloween Horror Nights is dope. So I'd rather do that than go to Disneyland. But now that they have Star Wars opening, it's like, man, I'm gonna end up going back for sure.
I'm pretty sure you'll like it. It's gonna be really cool. So.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to see at D23 this year was the Star Wars stuff, like the Star Wars Land and the movie stuff. Like I know they're gonna have a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
And Disney already said they're not going to be at Con. There's going to be no Star Wars stuff going on at Comic Con. So I'm bummed when you miss out on all that stuff.
They did that 2 years ago too, right? Or did they show something for Star Wars at Comic Con for Episode 7?
At Comic Con, yeah, they had the panel. They had the big Star Wars panel on Friday night. That's what they had. They had the big panel. They had all the cast and stuff, and then afterwards, that's when they had the concert. J.J. Abrams took everyone to the concert, and they gave everyone lightsabers and stuff. So they went pretty all out 2 years ago for Episode 7. This year, though, they said they're not going to be there, and the only reason why is because it lined up with D23.
Right.
So they were like, well, we're going to show off all our Star Wars stuff at D23, and probably because it's so close, 3-4 days apart.
Yeah. So
since it's so close, they're like, well, we'll just do it at D23. And D23. 2 years ago, it was in August, I think, like late August. It's already way after Con, so they showed more stuff there.
Well, it makes sense for them to do it like on their terms anyway. Like for people who've never been to D23, their main hall, they're very strict about cameras or anything like that. Like the first time I went, I had to put my camera. I brought a SLR camera, and they had me take the camera apart and put it into two separate, like really tight Ziploc bags.
Man,
You didn't like put them together or anything. And with the cell phones, you have to show them that you turn it off, and they put it into a sealed bag, so nothing gets out. Like that's the only like convention that I know of where like nothing leaks out. Like people write about it, but there's no videos or anything that gets out of that room. It's pretty crazy.
yeah, I know. When I went, same thing. They stop you before you go up into the room. They said, "Let me see your cell phone." You put your cell phone out, drop it in that bag, and then in the room they had ton of security guards walking around. They had night vision. I was like, "Holy crap!" These guys, they had the night vision you see like in the movies and stuff. They're walking around with that, and I was like, "Man, these Disney don't mess around."
Yeah, like if Jesse there, he would be kicked out for sure.
Yeah, 100% Jesse kicked out.
Yeah, he's the guy who like don't record this, and he's the one recording it.
Yeah, and it was funny because afterwards I told him, I was like, "Hey man, they had night vision and all this stuff. We had to turn on our phones. Like nothing's getting out." And then he was like, "Yeah, it will. Yeah, it will. Something will get out." And I was like, "I don't know, man. I don't think so. It was pretty serious." And he was like, "Yeah, there will. Watch. Just give it a couple weeks. It'll start leaking out." And it didn't. Never did. And then he would send me videos. "Oh, is this it? Is this it?" And I was like, "No, that's not what we saw." I looked online. I searched, and what we saw in there never got out.
Yeah, it's crazy. They did show BB-8, right? That was at D23, or was that at a different?
No, that was Comic Con.
Oh, that was Comic Con. Okay.
Yeah, what they had at D23 was Finn, Rey, and Han Solo were there.
Okay.
And they were talking about the movie. And then it's kind of weird, they just go on stage and they didn't have anywhere to sit. They were just standing talking about the movie, and then they had the poster. That poster was really cool that they handed out. And then they just showed the trailer again. That's it. They didn't show anything new. And then even at Comic Con, they didn't show anything new. It was the same trailer.
Yeah, it's funny, like D23, it's just a stage. There's no tables or anything like that, like Comic Con. So they're just standing there.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was pretty cool though. That's when they announced the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie. So Johnny Depp came out and as Jack Sparrow, and he was just walking around, just like he had no script or nothing. He was just just acting dumb, and it was actually pretty funny because you can tell he was just making stuff on the spot. Then he even started kind of chuckling at himself, like this, like I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And the guy, the moderator, it wasn't even a moderator, it was like a producer, was like, "Okay, that's it, you can get out of here now." And he was like, "I'm Jack Sparrow, you don't tell me what to do." And then like they dragged him off stage. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was I mean, I'm not a fan of the Pirates movies, I don't really care for them, but that was pretty cool to see. Yeah, they also showed Pete's Dragon and something else I'm forgetting right now, but the main part though, it was all about the Star Wars. That's what everyone was waiting for. Oh, and they also had some Marvel stuff. They had Doctor Strange. They showed some Doctor Strange stuff, but even that wasn't too much because Doctor Strange didn't come out until last November. So all they had was like concept art for that, and then some Civil War stuff. Chris Evans and Howard Mackie were there, and who plays Falcon, and they were talking about Civil War. I remember what the other one was. It was Jungle Book. So that was the other one, the live action Jungle Book, which I heard was really good. And I still haven't had a chance to see.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
Man, all the reviews came back great, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna check it out," and I just haven't got around to it.
Yeah, I watched it. I'm like, they can just do a Lion King right now. Like,
yeah, that's all.
The way they animated the animals, like it looks like it's real, and they can talk. So it's really cool.
Yeah, and you think they'll show Lion King on Saturday? They have to, right?
Well, they don't have to, but I think so. I think they're going to show something, hopefully. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Lion King movie, but I know a lot of people are. Like, back then, I've heard stories of a guy who watched the movie like 20 times in a theater or something crazy like that. So
yeah.
I know people love that movie. I'm just not a big fan of it. But yeah, I think hopefully they'll show something. It's probably going to look really cool. Yeah, and I heard recently that for Aladdin, they're having trouble casting people, and I think the latest news is like Will Smith is going to be Jafar.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, but outside of that, like they have a lot of casting issues right now, so I don't know where they're at with that.
I wonder if they'll show anything. I wonder if they'll show anything on Saturday, or if they just don't have much to show.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the one I'm looking forward to, actually.
Oh, you liked Aladdin?
Yeah.
Had a sick game on Sega Genesis.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
Hell yeah, that was a good ass game.
like it had pretty good graphics. It was pretty close to the cartoon back then. So
Yeah, I know. It looked just like the movie. It was crazy.
yeah,
It was hard as fuck too, if I remember correctly. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I beat it, but it was a bitch.
man, if you beat it, then you got further than I did.
Yeah, my cousin had it. We used to play at his house all the time.
Yeah, and so for this weekend, there's gonna be a panel for Pixar tomorrow, like on Friday, for the movie Coco. I don't know too much about it, but that's like their next big Pixar movie. And for the live action stuff, I think Black Panther is gonna be there. They're gonna show something because there's an autograph signing for the actors, so they're probably gonna show up and talk about that movie, which I'm pretty excited about.
Are they going to show Infinity War? Have they said anything about that?
Yeah. There's gonna be like an autograph signing for the actors for that one too, so they should show up for that as well.
Man, you're going to beat me to it. I'm going to be jealous. You're going to see Infinity War stuff before I do.
Yeah.
Even if it's only
in like 5 days later.
Yeah, it's only a week, but still, I'll be like, man, fuck Brian.
I don't know how I should approach it. Like, just don't say anything, or just like be all crazy about it.
Yeah, like oh, it's amazing, and then I'll just hate it, just hate everything.
Yeah, I'll be like, it's cool.
Did they show? Did they say if like like all the Star Wars actors are gonna be there?
I think so. The one I'm not sure about is the Han Solo movie.
Oh yeah.
I talked to you about this offline, and you were saying that they just changed director to Ron Howard, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not even sure if they have anything to show, but that movie should be there. I mean, if they have something to show. If not, they're gonna miss their window, and they might have to wait until next summer for Comic Con to show anything. Yeah.
Which I don't know. I'm still even not sure about that because they didn't at Comic Con last year. They didn't show anything for Rogue One. Like it was not even a big deal.
Okay.
So I don't know if they would show Han Solo at Comic Con next year. But I don't know. We'll see. Because like if they had no Star Wars last year, no Star Wars this year. Like they got to show something next year. But yeah, when I went, I got in line about 6:30 in the morning, and there was probably like maybe 500 to 800 people after me. Mm-hmm. So I was getting towards the end there. I was one of the last groups. So I got kind of bad seating. I got put all the way to the side, and the way the stage is set up is like there's a stage up front, and then there's 3 big screens side by side, and then the room is kind of set like a rectangle coming that way, coming back. So I was all the way to the left, and it was hard for me to see. I had to turn my head like all the way to the right to see the stage and stuff. So hopefully you guys get in a little earlier, so that way you can get like towards the middle, so you don't have to do that.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I thought that would be a better setup because like Hall H is kind of angled.
Yeah.
So I thought that would be worse, but you're telling me that the rectangular design is worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, at least with Comic Con, it's like a weird trapezoid thing, but at least they have screens like halfway through.
Right.
So you can still see everything. You're just looking at the screens, but the way that the D23 is just the main stage up front, and then that's it. There's no screens halfway through. It's just those 3 screens up against the wall, and it's a rectangle long wise. So you just imagine being on the very edges, and you have to look into the middle. Yeah. So that kind of wasn't very cool. I mean, it was all right. We still got to see it, but yeah, it was hard. I had to strain my neck and stuff.
Yeah, and the background's like black too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, I don't know too much about what they're going to show because they're very secretive about this stuff. But I'll talk about it afterwards. But the week after, you're going to Comic Con, right? Like you're heading down there on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll be heading down there Tuesday night. So,
do you guys have a plan, like what you want to see, or just like mention like what's worth seeing for the listeners?
Yeah. Let's see. On Thursday, it's kind of hard. I mean, there's always a lot of great panels like all throughout the day, but on Thursday, what's going to be kind of hard is that we want to go check out those experiences, the Walking Dead experience, and I don't know how long that's going to take. So, and some of the cooler panels in the morning, I'm probably going to end up missing, but for sure, we're going to do Thursday. We're going to do the Walking Dead experience. I think it opens like at 10 or 11 in the morning, which means I'm going to try and get in line like 6 or 7.
Oh man, really?
Yeah.
The first time I went with you for the Game of Thrones one at the Omni, like we went around noon, right? And I mean, we barely got in.
Barely got. Yeah, it was. We went way too late.
Yeah, well, because we went to WWE stuff in the morning.
Yeah, and then we went in
We
after.
saw Sting. It's pretty cool, but yeah, we went. I think we went over there right afterwards. Yeah, there was a really long line already.
Yeah, and it's just gotten worse the last few years. So last year I think I got in line like at 7 for the Game of Thrones, and I went at 7, then we finished like at 1.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's really, so I want to get there in line early for Walking Dead, so that way, same thing, we can get in, we can see everything, and then get out early afternoon at least, and go check out the other stuff. They didn't say it was a lot of specifics about what the Walking Dead experience is gonna have. They just said what this could be funny, but it says Negan's batting cages. So
they're just like head thrown at you.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're gonna have like zombie heads coming at me, and then you have Lucille, and you just hit them. That'd be pretty cool. That's the only thing they said, though. They just said that, and then it said stick around for other events and maybe even some cast signings and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So that one I definitely want to check out for sure on Thursday. And then later in the day, this kind of sucks. There's 2 panels I really want to see, but they're at the same time. One of them is Kevin Smith and IMDb are having a comic book movie trivia panel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be like Kevin Smith and some other guys. They're going to be doing trivia, and I guess the crowd can ask questions.
So you're trying to stump them or what?
I think so. You're trying to stump them. You ask some comic book movie trivia and see if they can get it. And anything with Kevin Smith is hilarious, so I really want to see that. And then it's funny too, because like all the Kevin Smith stuff always has to be at the end of the day because he curses so much.
You can't lock him down to a schedule, right?
No, you can't. Yeah, he goes way over the time, and then he cusses a lot. Like he's like really, really dirty. So you can't have him in the middle of the day like they used to. Which I don't know, did I ever tell you about that? Like you know his Comic Con on the Saturday night, his all age panel. How he just goes up and talks and just cusses like crazy.
It seems like he just goes up there with like nothing planned really.
Yeah.
Talking.
Yeah, and he gets really, really raunchy. When he first started doing that, like in 2005, it was right in the middle of the day. It was like noon. So all the kids are in there. They're all waiting to go. They're all waiting for like the Spider-Man panel, and Kevin Smith's up there talking about raunchy stuff.
Right.
And
doing drugs.
Yeah, smoking weed. Always high. He's smoking weed, and like the kids are all just sitting there, and he's just cursing like crazy. So that's why they booted him to the end of the day, after hours. That's why they put it at his panel was always after everything else, like at 7:30.
Yeah.
What sucks though, he's not doing it this year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because of his podcast or what?
I think so. I think because he's doing his podcast. Their podcasts are kind of early. They're at like 9. Normally they're late. They're like at 11 or even midnight. This year they're not. They're a little early. They're around 9. So he's not going to do his Hall H on Saturday, which sucks. That was like always a great way to close it out. So yeah, so on Thursday he's going to have that panel, but at the same time is the Inhumans, the new show for ABC. And I really want to check that one out. So it's like something's going to have to give. I'm not sure what yet.
I'm going to sidetrack you for a little bit. Like, they've been promoting for that show. Like, they're going to show it in the theater. So what are they doing with that? Are they just showing the first 2 episodes on a big screen or what? Yeah.
So they're filming the series in IMAX. This is the first time that IMAX is being used for a TV show. So since they're filming it in IMAX, they're actually going to show the first 2 episodes in the theater.
So what if I don't watch it in the theater? Are they going to just show the 3rd episode on TV?
No. Yeah, what they'll do is they'll show the first 2 in the theater, but they'll also be on TV.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll still be able to see it. You don't have to go to the IMAX theater if you don't want to. But if you want to check out, IMAX and how IMAX is really, it looks really cool. Anything in IMAX, when you go see it in IMAX theater, it looks really good. Like Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Like I saw it in the regular theater, and I was like, oh, that movie's good. I think you told me, like, no, you got to check out an IMAX. And I went to the IMAX theater, and it was, like, way better. And I was like, oh, man, I should have saw this first. So, same thing. So, the Inhumans, they're going to show the first 2 in the actual theaters. But the rest of the series is going to be filmed in IMAX. So, when you watch it on TV, if you have a good, big screen or something, it'll still look really good.
Okay.
But they haven't shown, they showed some trailers, some little teaser trailers. And I'm still kind of, to be honest, iffy on it. Like, it doesn't look, like, I'm not super excited for it because it doesn't look too great. So that's why I want to go to the panel, and maybe they'll show something really cool that'll get me hyped up for it. I like the actors. The actors they picked are pretty good. The guy who plays Black Bolt looks just like him. And so it's like, oh, okay, that got me looking forward to it. And being filmed in IMAX is really cool, really ambitious. But when they released the teaser trailers, I'm like, oh, that doesn't look too good. So I want to.
What do you mean? It doesn't look good on TV or on the computer or whatever, or what?
Oh no, I meant not visually, but the show itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they didn't really release too much story wise.
It looks to me. It looks really bare. Like,
yeah, I was about to say that.
The background is just like it's like a theater play almost.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's nothing really behind them.
Yeah, like when they're in Adelon, like everything looks kind of bland.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, they're in Adelon. It's supposed to be this, there's this city where the Inhumans live, right? Like this super advanced city, and it's supposed to be like royalty. They're royalty. They're the high family and stuff, but it really just didn't look like much. So yeah, that's why I want to go to the panel. I want to check it out. Maybe they can convince me that it's gonna be really good. So that panel and the Kevin Smith panel are at the same time, and I'm kind of like, man, I know if I go to the Kevin Smith panel, I'm gonna have a good time.
Right. At least that's guaranteed, right?
Yeah, it's guaranteed.
It might suck.
Yeah. Yeah, it might suck, but it might, like it goes. It's like the double-edged sword, right? I can go there, they might show something sick, and I'll be like, oh man, that show is gonna be awesome. I'm down. Or they can show something, and I can just be like, yep, it doesn't look good. I really wish I was in Kevin Smith right now. So I don't know yet. I'm still debating that one. I'll see what Jesse wants to do, because Jesse loves all those TV shows. He loves comics and he loves all the comic book shows, but he loves Kevin Smith. That's his boy. So something's gonna have to give. I'm not sure.
Maybe you guys split up and like report back afterwards.
Yeah, like, hey, what'd you think? Like, oh, I should have went to the Kevin Smith panel. Damn it. And so that's like around like 5 or 6 on Thursday. Probably head to the MTV party after that at Petco Park. That's always pretty fun.
Yeah.
They have you get there, and they have you get 1 free hot dog and 1 free beer. They have a concert. They haven't said who's gonna play this year yet. So it's all free. It's a free concert. They have if you want to buy food, you can buy more food. You can buy more drinks. There's activities there, like they have like a little obstacle course you can run through, and if you fall off, you just land in a giant balloon and stuff like that. And it's just a cool spot to hang out for the first night.
Yeah. I remember last time that I went to that, right after we just went straight to the Hall H line.
Yeah,
straight up there, without even like going back to the hotel room or anything.
Yeah, that was cool. That was before the wristbands when you could do that. Yeah, that was actually pretty fun. I remember Linkin Park played.
You're right.
And I was like, I'm not a big fan. I used to be when I was like 17.
Yeah.
But they played and they put on a good show, and then we were like, hey, we should go get in line, and so we did. We got in line, and it worked out perfectly. But now, but since we're not going to be waiting in line for Hall H for Friday, we just go hang out there. We get something to eat, listen to music, just kind of chill for a little bit, and then I think around like 10:30, 11 is when it wraps up, and so we'll probably just head back to the room. That's what we did last year. Once it closed up, we went back to the room, had a couple more drinks, and then by the time we wound down and stuff, it was right like 1, 2 in the morning.
Okay, so that's Thursday. What about Friday? What do you guys plan to do on Friday?
Well, Friday, what I'm excited for is that they're gonna have, this is gonna be the first year they're gonna have the Westworld fan experience, like the Game of Thrones one. So I'm really excited for that, because they're gonna have some cool VR stuff about going into Westworld and seeing. I mean, that's just gonna be dope. I'm excited for that. Same thing. I'm about to get there super early, maybe like 6 o'clock again. So I don't know how long that's gonna take. Get there super early, go through that, and then after that, hit up a couple panels. There was one last year that was really funny, and I'm hoping to see it again. And it was by Entertainment Weekly. It was the Brave New Warriors, I think they call it. And it's a interview with like male TV actors. And like Entertainment Weekly on Saturday, they have the women one, Jesse's favorite panel.
Yeah.
So this one's the other one. It's the guys. And and the one last year we were just sitting in it. We were waiting to see Luke Cage, the Luke Cage panel. And this one was before it. So we were just kind of like, well, let's just sit through this one until we can get to Luke Cage. Ended up being really, really funny. The moderator, I looked her up before. She was a producer with E. Or no, not with E, with Entertainment Weekly. And she was freaking funny. She was asking like super funny questions. Like, how many of you guys have ever set off an explosion on your TV shows, but you have to walk away looking cool and not look back? And all the guys, they all raised their hands. And then she was like, okay, you guys are all really buff. Have you guys done anything to look good on set, so that way when they film you look really good? And they all raised their hands. Yeah. One guy said he took I forgot what actor it was. He took women's pills to help with cramps because he heard that it dehydrates you, so you get all ripped. So he took those pills, but all he did was make him pee really bad. So he said he'd be in the middle of a take and have to tell the directors, cut, and then he had to run to the bathroom and pee and then come back and try to finish and try to get to the whole. And he said it lasted like the whole day. He was just peeing like crazy. So stuff like that. So that was a really funny panel. So I want to see that again. And what sucks too is on Friday is, so Netflix was there last year with the Luke Cage panel in Ballroom 20. This year they're moving it to Hall H. So for Defenders, and we're not going to be in Hall H on Friday, so that's going to suck. I'm going to miss it. Fridays in Hall H are all the big TV stuff every year. Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, and then now this year it's going to be Defenders. So I'm going to miss that because I could go at the Thursday night. I could get in line and try and get a wristband for Friday, but I don't really like doing that because I'm giving up my whole day pretty much Thursday. Like if I get in line, like I have to get in line like at 4 or 5 o'clock to get a wristband. So I'm going to be missing all Thursday night, go into Hall H Friday and sit in Hall H all day, and then have to jump right back in line to get Hall H Saturday.
You might have to jump out early if you want to get to
in
line for Saturday. Right?
Exactly. And then, as soon as the Defenders panel ends at 5, just run out of there and get right back in line. So I'm spending 2 days just standing in line. And I've done that before. I think we did that, right? The last year you went. Yeah.
The wristbands.
That was the first time with the wristbands, and we saw how bad it was. It was like, oh man, we had to get here super early, and so ever since they put in the wristbands, I don't like doing that. Before it was okay because, like you said, we went to the concert on Thursday, went from there right and got in line. So that was around like midnight. We got in line, and we were good. We got right in the next morning, like no, not a problem. Now with the wristbands, you can't do that. You have to get in line like at 5 o'clock. So Friday, we'll go see a couple panels. There might be 1 or 2 after that. Brave New Warriors panel, and then go get in line, and then the rest of Friday night is just hanging out in line and camping out, which it sounds bad, I'm camping out for 12 hours. It really isn't. It's actually kind of fun because you're there in line with 5,000 people, 6,000 people, whatever, and you make friends, and people are cooking out there. We have drinks out there. You're not supposed to, but they can't see you. There's no way. And you're just hanging out, with friends, and one of our group is bringing their Nintendo Switch.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we'll be out there playing Nintendo and stuff, and so it's okay. It's all right. It's not. It doesn't sound as bad. And we're gonna take our lawn chairs out there and just hang out. And then normally one of us will head to the market and get more drinks and sodas, and we'll take our ice chest out there with us, and it's cool. It's actually pretty cool, and you talk to people around you, and you're cool with them until the next day when you start getting to Hall H, and it's every man for himself, right?
Right. Yeah. Once moving, that's it.
Yeah. Get in there, run, you find the best seat. It's like, hey, see you later, new friend. Never see you again. So that'll be Friday. Friday we'll check out Westworld in the morning, hit up a couple panels, and then at the end of the day, it's getting in line for Hall H. And then we'll just hang out there, and Saturday is just be Hall H all day Saturday. What this year's Hall H show looks pretty epic. I don't know if you saw the what's going to be there, right?
No. I heard about some of them, but not all of it.
Yeah, on the morning, the Warner Brothers panel, they're always the first one, and their panels are always great. And last year, Conan O'Brien was the moderator. I'm hoping he does it again this year because he was really funny. So they're gonna have Blade Runner, the new Blade Runner movie, Ready Player One, and one more I'm forgetting. Oh, Justice League and Aquaman. So that'll be good. That's always a great panel. It's always really long too. It's like 2 hours. Then it's the Women Who Kick Ass, and this year they're gonna have Charlize Theron.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she's promoting her new movie, Atomic Blonde. So there'll probably be other actresses with her, but right now they're only saying her. And then after that will be, I think, Stranger Things, season 2, and then Westworld season 2, and then the big one, which I'm excited for, is the Marvel panel, which will have Thor, Black Panther, and the Infinity War, and that's gonna be crazy. Like from what I'm hearing, everyone's gonna be there, all the actors, which is why I'm pretty sure they'll all be at D23 too. They're all gonna be in Orange County, so it's gonna be crazy. Like I was there for the Avengers panel in 2010 or 2011, and that was just epic. That was the first time the Avengers were all up on stage together. It was crazy. The crowd was going crazy. So I think it's gonna be something like that. Except if it's gonna be all the actors, It's everybody. Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Panther, Thor, Avengers, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. They're all going to be there. Ant-Man. So you're going to have like 30 or 40 actors up there. That's going to be nuts. And the closest one I've seen to that recently was for the Days of Future Past panel when they had all the old X-Men actors and you had the... Were you there for that one?
Yeah, I was there for that.
Yeah, that was crazy, right?
There was a lot of people there.
Yeah, that's one of the best panels.
Yeah, they had the old ones, the old actors, and the new ones. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think this one will probably top that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. And then afterwards, normally there's a Kevin Smith panel that ends the show, and it's just him, and it's really funny. And then normally that ends around 10 o'clock or something, but he's not going to be there, so we're gonna have to find stuff to do. I mean, there's always tons of stuff to do. I saw that Screen Junkies, the YouTube channel, they do like honest trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
They're having a big party at the House of Blues, which is right next to our hotel room, and it's free. They're gonna be showing stuff. They're gonna have some of the cast of their honest trailers and all that are gonna be there. So we'll probably end up checking that out since it's right next to the room.
There's nothing from Fox this year.
There is on Thursday, I think. I think there's a panel Thursday in Hall H, but they're not saying what's going to be there, which is, Fox always does that. They never say what's going to be there, and I think that's a bad move. I'm going to assume something with Deadpool 2, but I know they haven't really done any filming or anything, but
really? I thought they would be halfway done or...
No, not really. I'm going to assume they'll have that, because Fox they have 3 X-Men movies planned for next year. They have Deadpool 2, X-Men Dark Phoenix Saga, and the New Mutants. So I'm gonna guess that's where they're gonna debut them and maybe have the cast there, maybe some footage of something, I don't know. But that's gonna be on Thursday, and I'm gonna skip that one.
Yeah.
Because normally if Fox doesn't have anything X-Men related, they just don't show up.
Yeah, they never showed Fantastic Four on. They just knew it was gonna suck.
That was actually a pretty funny panel. They had that was when they had the Deadpool. It was Deadpool, X-Men Apocalypse, and Fantastic Four. But the first one to go up was Deadpool, and that panel rocked the house. That panel stole the show. They showed the footage. That was the very first trailer they ever showed. The crowd went crazy. They showed the trailer up multiple times. And then what sucks is that panel ends, and it's the Fantastic Four. And it's just, no one cared. No one cared. They came out with the cast. They showed the trailer and everyone was just like, oh my god, get these guys out of here. What was cool though is that Chris Hardwick was the moderator. He's the best moderator, hands down, at Comic Con.
Yeah.
He knows what questions to ask. He knows who to throw the question to. He keeps it going. It's never slow. It's never boring. And he's a funny guy. So he knew that no one cared about the panel. So what he did was he asked each of the 4 actors, he asked them one question each. Like a real simple question. Mr. Fantastic this, Human Torch this, Invisible Woman this, Thing this. And I think he asked the director one thing. They showed the trailer and then he was just like, oh, great for being here. Thanks for being here, to give him a hand. And boom, got him off the stage. Really quick. And then they brought out the cast for Apocalypse. And everyone got excited again. So, yeah, Fantastic Four was there. They showed a trailer, but Chris Hardwick knew to get them out of there as quick as possible.
So there was no pop or anything for the trailer?
No. It was yay, polite. It was a polite applause. Yeah. Jesse was straight up booing, super loud. He was booing super loud. A couple of people picked up on it. They're like, yeah, that guy's right. And they started booing. But it was just a polite applause for the trailer. Whenever the actors answered a question, it was a polite applause. But no one was getting excited or anything. There was no pop. It was just like, oh, hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for answering the question. And then got him out of there. And then the big pop came for the X-Men when they came out. And but everyone was still hyped up on Deadpool for sure. That one just blew everything out of the water that year. So I doubt there'll be a Fantastic Four announcement at this year's Fox panel. I think they learned their lesson.
Well, Michael B. Jordan's already moved on, right? Isn't he playing? Isn't he going to be in one of the Marvel movies?
Yeah. He's one of the villains in Black Panther.
Okay.
So, yeah, so he straight up jumped ship. He's like, I'm out of here. I'm going to Marvel. Which is funny, right? That's what Chris Evans did. He was Human Torch in the other movies, and he jumped ship. He became Captain America.
Yeah. I don't like that when they have the same actor playing a different comic book character, but whatever.
Did you see that?
Green Lantern becomes Deadpool.
Oh yeah. Did you see the latest Fantastic Four movie?
I did.
Oh, it's bad, huh?
Pretty bad.
It's really bad. It's like I watched it with my roommate. I got on Netflix and I was like, "Hey man, what do you think?" He's like, "Put it on." So he put it on, and I wanted to see how bad it was, and I wanted to see if it was one of those movies that's so bad it's good, and it's not. It's like it's not. It's barely watchable, right? Like super boring.
It was way too serious.
Yeah, super dark and dead serious. Yeah. There was no jokes. It was not it wasn't fun, which goes like totally against what the Fantastic Four is. And it's funny because like after watching this movie, the first two Fantastic Four movies, I'm like, you know what? You know, they're not that bad. Not that bad.
They got Silver Surfer in the second one.
Yeah. See, and those movies, they had the tone right. It was real lighthearted. It was fun. Right. You know, that's what the Fantastic Four are. This one was just super, just so bad. And
you like Doctor Doom too, right? Like, so they pretty much messed him up again.
Oh man, you know that's what gets me mad is that Doctor Doom is like the coolest comic book villain ever, and you know, cooler than Magneto. He's cooler than the Red Skull. He's cooler than all these characters. He's the villain in the Marvel universe. And just from watching these movies, you would never know it. You'd be like, oh, this guy's dumb. Like, what the hell is this guy? He's in the first ones. He was like he was that dude from Nip Tuck, the plastic surgeon, just some real vain, you know, kind of weenie guy.
Right.
You know, and it's like, this guy's not a villain. How is he a super villain? He's a putz.
Well, he was pretty, and then his face got messed up.
Yeah.
So that was his motive.
Yeah. And then this one he's played by Toby Kebbell. He's a good actor, but he was like this real reclusive hacker guy, you know, scientist. He was a scientist on the project, and it didn't go anywhere, so he quit. And when they find him, he's just in like this giant room in front of like 10 monitors on screen, and they convince him to come back. And it's like, man, like the dude's a dictator of an entire nation. He's ruthless. He's just badass, and he's super smart, and probably the second smartest character after Reed Richards. That's another thing too they always get wrong in the movies, right? He hates Richards because he gets the girl, and that's not Dr. Doom at all. He hates Richards because Richards is smarter than him, and he knows it. So yeah, they haven't even come close to getting Dr. Doom right, and man, it really sucks. They can the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're kind of the knock on them is that their villains are kind of weak, right?
Yeah.
You know, their movies, their villains comes in like Malekith and the Ant-Man with the yellow jacket. You know, they're okay. What's his name? Caecilius and Doctor Strange. They're not that. Even Ultron didn't really live up. They can use Doctor Doom really bad. If you brought in Doctor Doom, like, man, that's such a huge villain. He can be a villain in every movie. Kind of like how they're building up Thanos. And even in the comics, Doctor Doom was a bad guy, but when Thanos came, he realized that having Thanos around wasn't good for him, so he actually helped out the good guys.
Yeah. So,
I mean, there's so much you can do with Doctor Doom, and the stupid Fantastic Four movies are just ruining it. I hate you, Fox. I hate you.
Just make... yeah, for me, like, when I watched the second movie of the original one, you know, they bring in Silver Surfer, like, you think that the movie can't fail, right?
Yeah.
Screw him up too.
I thought the same thing. I was like, there's no way you can mess up Silver Surfer. He's just way too cool. He's just such a cool guy. And they did. They messed it up. I was like, wow, that's really impressive.
So Saturday sounds pretty packed. Like, you're going to be camping out the night before, and then you're going to be sitting Hall H all day. What do you guys normally do afterwards? Like, since there's no Kevin Smith podcast or whatchamacallit, like his panel the past couple of years, what do you guys normally do afterwards?
Yeah, that's what sucks. Normally we've gotten tickets to his podcast with Ralph Garman, the Hollywood Babylon, and we would go that on Saturday nights, and we'd be out till like 2-3 in the morning. But last year he had it on Friday, and this year he's having it on Friday too, and we're gonna be in line for Hall H. Were you there? Did you go to Hollywood Babylon with us, or was that for Jesse's?
Yeah, I think I went twice on 2 separate years, or maybe it was just at one time. But I
oh, you know what it was? It was Jesse's birthday. We went to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I know that we went to one at Comic Con too.
Okay, yeah. So we like, there's so much stuff going on Saturday that it's kind of lame just to kind of just wind down Saturday night, even though I'm super tired. So like last year, there was no podcast, and so we got back to the room. Well, I take that back. There was a podcast, but it wasn't the Hollywood Babylon. It wasn't the one we wanted to go see. So we had the Saturday night panel with Kevin Smith, and that went pretty late. That went like 9:30, 10. He actually was late for his own podcast, and then once that wrapped up, we're heading back to the room, and then I had a couple friends that went. That a former coworker and her best friend, and they were at the House of Blues right next to us, and so we got out and they were like, "Hey, where you guys at?" And so we're gonna head back to the room right now, and they were at the House of Blues at the big party. Viceland was throwing a big party there, and my friend Danny, her friend was through the party. She was the event coordinator or something. And she was like, "Hey, come meet us there." And I said, "Okay, cool." So we get back to the room and we kind of sit down for, just a little bit. And everyone falls asleep. I was like, "Man, I don't want to fall. I'm not going to bed. It's like 11:30. It's way too early." So I went and met them at the House of Blues. And then, so we were there. We're having a good time, having drinks and stuff. And there was a party bus there that it was just for the people who was through the event. My friend Danny was like, "Hey, she'll let us go on the party bus with her." And I said, "Oh, okay, that's cool." So but we could only get on once House of Blues closed down, which was 2, right? And all the bars closed at 2. Yeah. So we got on the party bus, and she's like, "Let's go on the party bus." We get on the party bus, and it's not a party bus. It was a school bus. It was an old school bus, and they just kind of ripped out the inside of it, and then just put they put like a bar in there. They just put like a mini fridge for drinks, and there was nothing to hold on to. Like, so the bus is going, and we're like, I just had my hand flat up against the top of the bus. And it was driving around, and it's like, oh, I'm trying not to fall. And everyone had their drinks and splitting their drinks and stuff. And it was going around gas lamp. It was just circle gas lamp. Yeah. And like, and what made it worse too was that I had to pee because we had been drinking for a few hours. And so we would stop, and I would just hop out and just run to. Well, luckily our hotel room was right next to the House of Blues. And so I would run back over there, use the bathroom on the bottom floor, and then run back over there and hop back on the bus. And my friends they're from Arizona. They're not from here, so they didn't know San Diego at all. So they had no clue. So I didn't want to leave them out there in the middle of the night in San Diego by themselves. So I'd run back, get back on the bus, and it just goes back around in circles, go back around in circles. And we did it enough times that, I don't know if you ever watched the show Workaholics. No, me neither. But I guess one of the cast members came walking out of the Hard Rock, which is right next to the convention center. And he just hopped on the bus, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's the dude from Workaholics," and taking pictures with them. And the bus is driving. Everyone's kind of flailing around, almost gonna fall, and trying to take pictures with this guy. And then finally, I hear the driver. I was up near towards the front next to the driver, and the driver goes, "Okay, we're done. You guys only have the bus for like another 20 minutes." And so we got back to the House of Blues, and that was it. Everyone got off, and the bus leaves, and that dude from Workaholics. He was just there, and this is like way down the gas lamp. This is like the other side of the gas lamp. Yeah. And he just kind of looking around. He's drunk. He's just messed up out of his mind. So he's taking pictures with people, and then he just kind of just walks away. I don't know where he went. He just went. So we went back to my room, and then my friends went. They're waiting for their. It was one of my friend's cousins was there, and they were staying with him. So he came and picked them up. So it was like by the time that finished, and I got back to the room, it was like 3:34. Yeah, I crashed, and man, I didn't get up the next day till almost 12. So I mean, there's just so much going on that the Saturday, even though there's no Kevin Smith, there's no podcast or anything, there's gonna be tons of stuff to do. And again, at the House of Blues they're gonna have that Screen Junkies party, so we'll probably get over there and just see what happens. I tell people it's like during Comic Con, the Gaslamp is like Vegas. Right, you've seen it. Yeah. It's just thousands of people all up and down the street, and every restaurant and every bar, they're all jam packed, and people are just partying and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. So I'm probably gonna do something like that this year. Just go and find.
Yeah, if you go back to San Diego on like a non-Comic Con weekend, it's like a ghost town there.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Like I'm like, this isn't like this is crazy. I can't believe it's the same. It's the same city. So perfect timing. I just finished that story, and someone just decided to join us right now.
Hey, I just woke up. Shut up.
Did you really? Were you sleeping?
No. I wish that was. I wish. For those of you who don't know, I've been working on trying to set us up for the iTunes podcasting, and I was working on setting up how to our RSS file, blah blah, bunch of technical crap, and I was up really late in the morning, so I'm kind of really tired. But unfortunately, I had some customers in Riverside, and I left my phone in the car, and I totally forgot that we were going to record a podcast. So sorry, guys.
So we kind of went over like what we wanted to see, what I wanted to see, and on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So what?
And Brian was okay with that. Brian wasn't crying. It was like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to see that.
Maybe on the inside, he did. He has a good poker face. On the otherwise,
he was cool. That's cool. Dude, we're gonna miss the Defenders.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, dude. It's in Hall H on Friday.
Yeah, I'm playing catch up, and I'm like, and now I feel like Brian.
Yeah, I was telling him earlier how it was in Ballroom 20 last year. Remember?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of what I mentioned this year, that it was kind of weird that Netflix had that whole like, oh, we're not going to Comic Con forever, and then last year decided to because Marvel made them, and then all of a sudden they're like Hall H material. Like,
yeah. And and Netflix is going all out this year. They have an offsite, the Netflix offsite. And they're gonna have all kinds of stuff for like Stranger Things and all the Netflix shows, the Marvel Netflix shows, and I think on Thursday night they're gonna have a special screening of an original movie. So Netflix was like, "Oh yeah, we don't really think going to Comic-Con is a big help." 2 years later, they're probably one of the biggest companies there now.
Yeah, it's sellouts. No, but that's cool though, because we'll be able to like, we're going to be there in Hall H on Saturday, so we'll be able to see Stranger Things. So this is a kick in the ass. I got to now finish watching Stranger Things.
Yeah. You got like 4 days.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be doing it in the room.
Yeah.
We're camping out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, I've been trying to watch it with my brother, and my little brother is a scaredy cat.
So it's freaking him out.
Well, he's acting like he's not, of course. He's 14 now, so he's got to play the I'm a guy thing.
Yeah.
But we can't see it unless it's like on the outside or there's light. So yeah, now I gotta egg him and say, hey, we gotta see it this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm either gonna. My sister's already watched it. She's making fun of it. She's like 13. She's like the biggest Harry Potter fan ever, and she's like, oh, I finished Stranger Things. So.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe on Sunday, because Sunday is normally a chill day, right? We just kind of. Well, you don't even go down there on Sunday.
No, I don't think I've ever done a Sunday.
Yeah, but I was thinking on Sunday, since it's a chill day and we normally just kind of walk around the convention center, and that's when we walk around the floor, because Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday we don't walk the floor. Well, I take that back. Wednesday we do for preview night.
Yeah, Wednesday we usually do.
But Thursday, Friday, Saturday I don't see the floor at all. So Wednesday I hit the floor, check everything out, take pictures, see all the cool stuff, and then whatever other offsites I didn't get to see, that's when I'll do it. I'll do it on Sunday. So I'm thinking Sunday, if I don't wake up too late, heading over to the Netflix and checking out their they have the Netflix, and there's FX is going to have something there too, Bangford Legion. Check those out and then hit up the floor for a little while, and then head back to the room. And there's actually Sunday night is they're going to have a tribute to Adam West.
Oh, no way.
That's cool. Yeah, the convention center right out front. So that's like around 7. So I definitely want to go see that.
Are they going to do what they did here in LA? Because you can't outdo.
No, no, I don't think they're going to put a bat symbol on the convention center.
Yeah.
And one, it's not even late enough. It's only 7 o'clock, so it's still sun's going to be out. But that's cool. That's been something cool to go check out Sunday night. But I don't know. You might be even back in town, right? You might be back here Sunday night.
It's possible. Two of the guys I'm going with, one of them needs to come back that day. It depends though, because he was asking me if there's a Doctor Who event. He thought he heard on Sunday. So if there's a Doctor Who event Sunday, he might actually wait.
I think there is. I think there is on Sunday, because Sunday used to be the TV day, right? Like that's where they had Breaking Bad and Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That was always on Sunday. So if they're having a Doctor Who, it's probably gonna be Sunday.
Yeah, last time it was on Sunday.
Yeah, so we might have to wait until he sees that, and then come back, down to LA, and then maybe hit up that podcast like we were talking about. Like I'll be recording from home.
Yeah,
which is you still be in San Diego.
Yeah, I'll be down there, and it's cool having the room Sunday nights. It's cool just to hang out and chill. Last year I was exhausted. Sunday when the convention closed at 5. The halls, that's when the doors closed, and by the time when I got back to the room, I was done. I sat in the room, and then I think one of you guys left a frozen pizza in the fridge, and I was like, "Oh, score!" Threw that in there. We didn't even have to leave the room to get something to eat. Rick fell asleep like right away. It was funny.
I remember somebody also making fun of the fact that we even bought that.
Yeah, like, what are you guys doing? You guys are nerds then to save my life on Sunday.
Yeah, we knew.
So I was telling Brian earlier about the Hall H stuff. Have you seen the lineup?
I'm looking at an IGN article that was sent to me by Brian, but no, I haven't seen the full schedule yet. The
Warner Brothers in the morning, which is gonna have Justice League and Aquaman and Ready Player One, Blade Runner. Your favorite panels after that, Stranger Things, then Westworld, and Marvel. But I was telling Brian that
Midnight Texas. I thought they would have canceled this. Like, why are they promoting it again?
I think it's still going, dude. But Kevin Smith's not having his Saturday night panel.
What? I thought you said that's what he was doing. He was closing out.
No, he's not closing out this year.
Did they make a mistake on the schedule?
I don't know. I'm hoping they fix it and say, "Oh yeah, we forgot about Kevin Smith." We were talking earlier about how, that was a really cool way to end the day on Saturday.
Yeah, just what I'm doing right now is on the Comic Con app, and that's a tip for anybody who goes to Comic Con. Definitely install the app.
Yeah. Mine's already been updating the last couple of days.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now. But I mean, it's not the perfect thing, but it's on a pinch you can search and stuff like that. Kind of like what I'm trying to do with Kevin Smith. Stupid app just isn't updated. Oh yeah, it's stuff like on WonderCon. There you go. I need to update it. That's what it is. Oh well.
Hey, so Brian, I know there's a story you've been wanting to tell. We were waiting for Jesse, and we were gonna save it.
Tell me. It's most likely about me making fun of me.
No, yeah, that's what we're saying. We're waiting for you to get back on here. We were like, well, Jesse's not gonna make it today. We'll wait till the next one. But hey, you made it, and this is a story Brian's been dying to tell. So
yeah, so I told the story, like, I kept the story pretty consistent, so I don't think I'm exaggerating or anything. But it was one year. It was I think it was like 4 years ago. Jesse and we went to camp out for Hall H, and I think this was a year before they started doing the wristband.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's what we volunteered to go to camp out that night.
Yeah, so I volunteered to go camp out, and Jesse wanted to come along, and I borrowed a sleeping bag from my friend, and I didn't know it was like those like fancy sleeping bags where you can where it'll keep you warm up to like 40 degrees or something. So I bring the sleeping bag, I have a blanket, and Jesse's carrying like some chairs to sit on and everything. So we're walking over to line up, and on the way, like, we're crossing the street, and I don't know what happened. I turned away for a second. When I turned back, like, Jesse's like rolling on the ground on the street. And there was a girl nearby, and I was asking him like, are you okay? And then he just popped up like right away, and I find him. Played it off. And then so we, so that was fine. So I thought that was pretty funny, like seeing him roll. And he was still holding on to the chairs too. That was funny.
It's like
I haven't answered anything.
It's like when someone has a drink, they'll never spill the drink.
Right. Yeah, like eat it, but the cup and the drink is still there.
Yeah.
Not a drop lost.
So well, so let me finish the story first, and then you can jump in and tell your side of the story. But so we get to the line, and then I set up my sleeping bag, and I just lay down, and I just go, oh, and the blanket I brought, I put it underneath, on the floor, because I didn't want to dirty the sleeping bag. And Jesse just had the chair with no blanket or anything. I'm just like, okay, I'm going to sleep. And, like, I wake up like 3 hours later, and I'm feeling really warm. So I thought it was because of the weather. Like, oh man, it's pretty nice, like it's not that bad. Like camping out outside, it's pretty warm. So I open up the sleeping bag, and it's freaking cold. Like I'm freezing.
You guys are right on the water, right?
Yeah, we're right by the water by Joe Crab Shack. And I look over at Jesse, and he's still like just sitting on a chair asleep, and he's like shivering and stuff. and I forgot about this until later, but like I had the blanket underneath because I didn't want to mess up the sleeping bag. So I gave it to him. Yeah, but I never did. So I just didn't think about it at the time.
Yeah, you're like, no, I'm not gonna help my friend out.
Yeah, and his ribs were all messed up and stuff, and I'm just like sleeping, all warm in there.
Legit.
Thanks. And I didn't even know that you had the blanket on the side.
Yeah, it was more like a cover, like because I didn't want to dirty the sleeping bag.
Yeah, because you had borrowed somebody's stuff, and so you were like, "Oh, let me take care of this sleeping bag instead of saving Jason's life." Yeah, it's etiquette. I understand.
So, yeah. So let me ask you, like, so what happened? Like, what happened? Like, what made you trip? And then, yeah. So just tell us, like.
My side of the story. I was just high on life that day.
Best con ever, right?
Yeah. No, okay. So obviously, in the previous podcast, we mentioned how my first year with my cousin, how I had overextended and I got tired, right? So this is gonna be my first actual camping out for our age, and so that's why I was excited. Now I'm like, dude, I'm down to go with Brian. We'll take first shift and camping out. It was gonna be my first experience. I had kind of, saved myself for that, right? So I go with him, and I see him packing his stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I just need a CM chair. It's San Diego, it's summer, whatever. And I had my jeans, I had a shirt. I mean, I wasn't in shorts or anything, but still, I think we both took showers.
Yeah.
I think that made it worse too, because I think mine might have still been like kind of wet or moist. And we did it after 2:00. I don't know. It was like around 2:30, and so a lot of bars were closing, and that's the reason why that girl was there, because she was leaving a bar. So we're walking down. What is that street? We're going down the gas lamp, and we're where we stay. We're only a few blocks away from the convention center, so it's an easy 15-minute walk. And I didn't notice one of those small black sprinklers, one of those stupid little sprinkler tips. And so I had moved somehow and just tripped over that sprinkler. And I had my backpack, my stadium chair, and I want to say I also had something else in my hand, but I'm not positive, because all of a sudden with all that momentum, I just rolled forward. And it's kind of like where you're like trying to balance yourself, not fall, but either way, no matter what, you just whatever. So I like you said, I tripped into the street and rolled over. I have never had the wind knocked out of me, and this is my first time. I was like freeze. And like he said, he was a little bit ahead, so he looked back, and I remember him asking me too. I remember the girl too, but I remember Brian says, like, "Are you okay?" But at the same time, like, I think he was trying to not crack up, and because obviously he didn't know what just happened. And I got up like when the girl said something, and I was like, "I'm not drinking anymore." I made a joke like no more for me. And just basically like whatever, and he it up like I'm of course embarrassed or whatever. It's like it's good. Let's go.
Yeah, like my thinking was like, I hope he doesn't like end up there for like half an hour or something.
Yeah.
you needed to get in line, right? You had to get in line.
Yeah, exactly. That was the thing. So we're like, let's go. And all this time, my rib is killing me, and when I'm walking over there, I'm worried. Like, should I be worried? I've never this is the first time I've ever had my wind knocked out of me, and so I've spit a few times just to see if I was bleeding. So, but no, I was good, and I mean, I was thinking, well, dude, if I would have broken something, I would have been really in pain or something. So I was just feeling bruised up. So we finally get to the end of the line, and we're at the freaking pier. We're like we passed I think there was an Assassin's Creed boat that year or something, right?
Yeah. Forgot about that. Yeah.
We were in the pier, like towards basically where ballroom 20 would be, on that that far back, like he said, like basically we're right before the path going down to the crab shack, and it was just freaking cold. Like he said, he set up his little thing. The reason when he saw me shivering because I had nothing to do. I sat in the stadium chair, crossed my arms, like you know how you put your arms inside your shirt and you just cross my arms around yourself. And part of that was because of the fact that I was still bruised. I was hurt. And he fell asleep like nothing. I think it took me like a little while longer to kind of crash. I finally crashed. And it was just crazy. It was super cold. Like you could see like the mist on the pier. And it's funny because somebody said, "Oh, that's kind of weird. It's never really this cold." So there was that, and then when we finally came back to LA after, I was still bruised, and I found out that actually my ribs had like relocated themselves, kind of like one was basically on top of the other. My chiropractor kind of like snapped them back together, days, but that happened. That was my first real pain, whatever you want to call it, my badge of honor there.
It was worth it though, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll probably talk about some more stories on the next podcast about the bridge.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And just remember that when we did the bridge, my ribs were still hurting.
Yeah.
And they were still at that contorted position. That's what we get. But that was when we got to Hall H, Mike. It was my first full Hall H, and that's when we had the cast of Wolverine. We had what do you call it?
That was Days of Future Past. What's that?
And then first it was First Class because it was before Days.
No. It was Days of Future Past. First Class came out years before that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So it was like the full cast. So it was Wolverine cast because he's the one that introduced the X-Men.
Yeah.
And then we also heard for the first time the Superman Batman movie concept.
Yeah, that was that's when they announced it. For the first time.
It was pretty cool because he came out and quoted something from the Frank Miller storyline, and every nerd in there knew what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
And then the logo showed up.
Yeah.
And then it was like the biggest dirt tease.
I know. After that, people were running outside on their phones, calling their friends. They're doing it. They're doing it.
Cool. It was funny because there was even somebody who was following me on Facebook. He says, "No, they'll never do that movie, motherfucker. I just heard it. I am here in San Diego. So whatever you fucking know, you don't know."
And then that night was when they announced Age of Ultron. So it was like,
that's true. That was, for the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, they're like, because they're like, oh, by the way, just Joss Whedon came out, by the way, and they just threw that little teaser with Ultron, his head. Yeah, that was a sick Hall H. That was one of the best ones. Like, man.
And that was we heard his voice, right? We knew it was
James Spader.
Yeah, James Spader, right?
No, not at that point. At that point, it was just they were playing lines from the movies.
Yeah, oh no, didn't we know James Spader by then?
No, James Spader came later.
Yeah, but I think they chose. He was a really good Ultron. Like his voice and his voice acting was really good with that. But that's another story.
That was an epic Saturday, and we had a big adventure just to get in that day. We'll save that story for later, but
yeah. Maybe from whatever.
Man, that was crazy. And then
I still feel it too.
Dude, that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah. When I pass the pier, I feel like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, what's that?
So what happened though? Like, did you fall on the chair or what?
No. Like I said, I tripped over one of those little black sprinklers. That's why I didn't notice it. It was one of those little, sprinkler heads that it's those plastic ones. So I just tripped over it. I wasn't paying attention where I was walking, and I do now. I am making sure I'm not stepping on any of those. I will not, because with the bars and everybody leaving, you're like merging left and right. Everyone's kind of just walking around stupid, and we were walking dedicated. We were like, we have a goal. We need to get to the fucking end of that line, and like I said, we were just speed walking, and I speed walked into a fucking momentum, gravity. I prove science works.
Yeah, well, just know that if you didn't pop up, I would have just left you there.
Yeah, like he would like call Brian would have called me or something. Hey, John, Jesse's down, but I'm gonna get the spot in line. So it's okay.
Yeah. I think he has the snacks.
Yeah, go get the snacks.
I'll be nice and sleep in my snug, bed or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that was funny because I stayed in the room that night, and the next day, when we got in line and stuff, and you guys were telling me that stuff, and I was cracking up. I was like, I can't believe that happened. You were like my fucking ribs, and Brian was cracking up that he saw everything.
I sent you a picture. I remember where we were at. I think it's posted on my Facebook page too from that year's album. I sent you a picture of where the fuck we were at. We arrived. It was ridiculous. And that was like you said before. We did wristbands, so we had to be in line.
Yeah. What was that? Yeah, we'll tell the story another day about our adventure just to get into Hall H and stuff. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But,
that first year, man, I really had to pay dues.
Yeah.
I don't care what Ricky says. Come on, Ricky. I paid dues that first year.
He became one of us after that.
Yeah. We built a bond.
But yeah, we wanted to get that story out there. That was a pretty good one. But before we cut this podcast short, we'll try to get another one in on Monday. We'll do a review of D23 with Brian, and then we'll throw in a couple more stories Comic Con before we head out on Tuesday. You got anything else you guys want to throw in before we cut it for the night?
Yeah, Jesse, dude, be on time next time.
Remind me. Yeah.
All right, I'll text you a whole day before next time.
Yeah. Did you text me? We were doing something today?
No, but on Tuesday we had a point at the time.
I forgot what day it was. When you don't go to school and you don't have a real regular job, you don't know what day is what.
It all bleeds together. But yeah, so I guess that's it for us. Take it easy, guys. Brian, Jesse.